What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to this camera review. This is the second episode. I want to thank everybody for the awesome response to the first episode with the Nikon D3200. If you haven't seen that yet, I recommend you watch it because, well, it was a fun episode to make. So I haven't filmed these in succession except for the D3200 immediately after I did the intro video, which that was like, a couple months ago. I'm gonna skip this camera, however. This is my Pentax ME. The reason I'm skipping is because this is kind of a Nikon series, and I've done enough on this camera, throughout the vlogging years. If you want me to talk about this camera, which this is the first one I bought almost exactly a year ago when I filmed this video. This being the very first film picture I ever took, right here, this guy right here. I can make a video about this camera, but it's very simple. It's an aperture priority. The iris is controlled with this, and depending on your setting here and the light outside and the ISO of your film, that will be the shutter speed. So I bought this initially, and I used it for a bit and I liked it, but then I quickly realized I needed another camera because I got a lot of film that I didn't want to put into this camera, and I wanted to try other film, and I didn't really know what to do about it, and basically it was capacity issues. So that's where this guy comes in. This is the Nikon FE. I'm gonna leave it down below in the description. We did a for the Pro News Project, I localized an article from a guy who used to work for Nikon, and he actually published a article talking about the FE. So I will leave that in the link down below in the description. I got it at hard off for approximately 8,000 yen, including a 50mm lens. Not this one, the lens that's on my other, wherever the hell I put it. So this right here is a 50mm 1.4. This one's a little bit newer. It's got this on it, but let's ignore the lens for a second. Right now, currently I have some Harman Phoenyx ISO 200 film inside of it. Now, oh man, I just started this roll of film too. Damn it. So I wanted to open this thing up and talk about it, but I guess I have to wait until I'm done making or taking these pictures before I can actually do that. Let's just do a time skip, okay? Here's after this roll of film is done. Skip ahead, come back. Okay, fast forward a few weeks later. I also don't have a voice. Sorry. This is after the YouTube haunted me when I'm filming this. So let me compare these two cameras again closely. All right, so this was the first camera I bought, Pentax ME, the first film camera I bought, and then I bought this shortly after I returned from my trip to America in May. I bought it because I realized I needed a second camera. I may have mentioned that earlier in the video. I forgot. But the key difference is this ME is aperture priority. All the shutter speed is controlled automatically by the aperture setting here, right? This, you can actually control the shutter up to 1,000 1/1000th of a second, and also has auto prior. You can do aperture auto on here. So that's the key difference with this camera versus the ME, and that makes it pretty easy for simple outdoor shoots. To open this thing up, you pull this out. There's a little safety fail here. Pull this up and open. I already developed the film. Okay, here's some pictures. This is shot on Harman Phoenyx. Sorry, I don't have the red yet. I can't find it. So this is the inside of it. This is your pressure plate here. The shutter windows are right here. The film goes into this. When you pull this, so this is actually a safety valve as well right here. You can't trigger the. So I'll charge the film here, right? So you can see that's it charged rather. Sorry. It doesn't shoot unless you have this switch open. Shot there, right? So that's how that works. And then, of course, your ASA/ISO settings are up here at the top. To change that, you push this button here. There's a button right here. Push this, and you just move it, right? So I don't know what film I'm going to put in here next. I got a whole bunch of black and white film over there that I haven't used yet because I want to shoot in color for Hanami season. But that's basically how this thing runs, and like I mentioned earlier, with these lenses here, you can see the small numbers. That mirror is right there. It is easy to maintain, very easy to work with, and it works perfect for what I needed to do. And, it's metal camera. The only thing is this right here. This is your, this is spring loaded. This actually makes contact with the lens. This is actually starting to fail a little bit. I might be able to get it replaced at the camera shop, but sometimes when I move it up here and then I move it back, it doesn't move back. See? So that affects the inside of the camera where the light meter switches. I think that's just because this is a very old camera, combined with the fact that it's cold outside right now. So yeah, a couple things. I mean, if that gets worse, I'll just go to the shop and see what they can do to repair it. All right, back to 3 weeks ago. Whoosh, time travel. All right, welcome back. So this camera, unlike this one, there's two key differences besides the fact that, this is an aperture priority camera, okay? This one right here has got the shutter speed controls on top. It goes from bulb to M90, which I haven't really tried messing with because sometimes I'm afraid to try messing with stuff. And then it can shoot for up to 8 seconds. And then from 8 seconds, 4 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, and then 1/2, 1/4, 1/8, 1/15, 1/30, 1/60, 1/225, 1/250, 1/500, and 1/1000. So you are limited with the shutter speed with this camera. It's better than this one because you can actually control the shutter speed a lot better. All right, the ISO controls are up here as well. You press this button down and you move this around. There's a lot of fail safes. Like this is the winder. You pull this thing and you wind your film, right? This right here, I believe this is the battery checker. As you can see, it uses the small pill batteries. I forgot what number they are. It uses the LR44 battery. And unlike the Nikon F4 and unlike this camera, where I've taken so many rolls of film, I've actually only taken about 14 or 15 rolls of film on this, and I've only changed the batteries once, right? This is my third set of batteries on here, and for the F4, which uses AA's, I haven't changed the batteries since I bought it. And arguably, I've used the F4 a lot more than these two cameras. So why do I have this? So this is like a cousin to what's called the FM, which has a lot more mechanical controls. This has a lot more electronic controls, a TTL inside of here. And honestly, I feel like it's much easier to use personally, right? A lot of the controls are separated as well. And, I feel like this is much easier to carry around. So since I haven't used this film before and it's much more professional film than a lomography film, I feel much better testing film out on this camera than popping it in the F4, even if it's a professional film, right? So that's what this thing would be used for in my daily photography activities, right? Not to mention, it's very lightweight, it's very compact. I don't know, it feels really good. It's easy to hold. So here's a bunch of sample photos that I've taken with this camera. Honestly, these are some of the more interesting photos that I've taken. I haven't really picked the photos yet. I'm just kind of talking over it. I mean, this camera, I like it quite a lot. I really do. I think this thing is, it's become one of my favorites to use again. So I can't wait to get this roll of film developed. I'm only on shot number 3 now. Now I am. All right, well, let's go outside and take some pictures with this thing. All right, it's nice and sunny out today. So here we go. If this is late, by the way, my apologies. Like the gap between this video and the previous video is pretty high. I do apologize. This guy's got the hell? Okay. I have to, this is only the third shot of film I have on here, and I don't know if this film is going to take a while, like at the lab. So sometimes the film I get developed can take, between a couple of days and a week, depending on the store I take it to. And some film takes forever because they have to ship it off to a lab for some freaking reason. I don't know why. All these companies do that here. All the developing companies do that. So I'd home develop it, but I don't trust myself. You know what I mean? So that's why I don't develop my own film. Otherwise, I would. I don't have any of the gear. I don't have the technical know-how. So yeah, that's why. Anyway, we're going over to the Combini because I need something to drink. Non-alcoholic, just something to drink. While we're out and about, we're going to take some pictures. Another point of emphasis I like to make for film cameras is a lot of times the body is only a matter of functionality and not necessarily about performance. With film cameras, the film you have in here, as well as the lens that you have, factors a lot more. Unless you know what you're doing, you really can't change the ISO that much. Unless you know exactly what you're doing. So if you're a film photographer, you know what I'm talking about. But I mean, this lens right here probably has a lot more impact on the film and in the picture outcome than the body itself. Like I said, the body itself is mostly just a matter of the functionality. But even then, you know, it still functions well. Here's the Family Mart, but there's too many people around here. I don't want to be suspicious, and I don't know what to photograph. It's late afternoon over here. All right, let me see what I can look at here. Does that look good? Why not? You can see I've got the charging camera opened inside. You can see the thing on the side there, the left side. This is really hard to do with the one hand. I'm pointing at the sky. You can see it's changing now. I upped the lens aperture to 16, and it actually likes this photo now. You can see there's a little bit of dust and stuff inside of my viewfinder, but that's kind of how it functions. I feel the same way I felt when somebody randomly advised me to go outside and use my Sony's to take a random demo reel, because I don't know what to take a picture of right now. Not much going on over here. How about this sign? This signpost right up here, this thing. I'll take a picture of that. This is hard to do with my phone, but it's in focus. So sometimes, actually, there you go. Okay, I'm gonna put my phone down for a second, get this thing back in focus. Okay, I'm not gonna take the picture through my camera because I actually wanna see what's going on. Hello. All right, let me line myself up here. Got it. All right, I bought some YouTube Hanami supplies at the Family Mart, and I'm gonna go photograph it. Cool. All right, so I'm gonna lower the aperture down a smidge. I'm gonna keep it at 1,000. All right. How's this look? All right, it's a bit bright, if you can see. It's a bit bright, so I'm going to, well, what am I at, 1,000? Unfortunately, it means I have to stop down the aperture a little bit, put it to 2.8. Because like I mentioned about functionality, 1,000 is as high as this thing is gonna get. I am completely out of focus too. With this lens. I love this lens though. See, these things can tell me how close I can get. 0.45 meters. All right, let's see here. I can't take a picture like this. I can't get it through the, I can't see if it, you know, okay, you get my point. So I'm just gonna do this. All right. Right about here. How far am I from the beer? That's how far. All right, ready? Got it. I'm gonna have to chop up that last clip a hella ton. Like I said about functionality, I mean, I couldn't get this thing to the lens itself to its highest setting because that's a lot of light and it's daylight, and this only shoots at 1,000th of a second. I mean, again, it works fine with a good lens. It looks great, but then you're restricted to that shutter speed. Like if I'm at the beach and I want to do like a portraiture shot of somebody and, you know, make it look really pretty with the bokeh and stuff, that's where the f4 comes in. Because if it's really bright, I guarantee you, even when it's like summer brightness outside and the f4 is out, which goes up to 8,000, that's kind of cutting it too. I think you saw from the viewfinder, you see that little notch right there? That is a mirror, which you can see these small numbers with from the lens. When you look through the viewfinder, this is like my favorite thing about Nikon cameras. Like even the f4 has it, because when you're looking through the viewfinder, you know exactly what setting you have on this thing. So it helps out quite a lot. All right, in conclusion, am I happy that I bought this film camera second after this guy? Yes. I mean, I like both of these cameras a lot. I'm not going to ditch this guy, but is it the perfect camera? No, I don't think any camera is perfect. But does it do what I want it to do? Does it do what I expect it to do? Yes. Now you can find this camera pretty easily at Kitamura Camera. They have them like pretty much any shelf you find there. The one in Shibuya has it. I got this at Hard Off in Fujisawa. I haven't seen one at Hard Off since. This is in excellent condition. I got it for quite a bargain. It is missing this, whatever this was, this cover. So that's probably why they had it for 8,000 yen, but it's just like the F4. They say it's junk, but it isn't. All right, thanks for watching this video. I appreciate y'all watching it and giving the like and subscription and all that. Click here to see the other videos in this series, and my face has probably got an icon over it right now. Click this to subscribe, and I will see you later.